So today, I'm interviewing Steve Waters and Gary Cliff. Let me tell you a little bit about them before we start our interview. Steve is an ex-professional footballer. He is director of Offside Trust, football survivor, a business owner, and a family man. And Gary Cliff, he was a youth footballer for Manchester City. He's also a survivor of Barry Bennell. And in 2018, along with 12 other survivors, Barry Bennell was found guilty of numerous counts of sexual abuse of children. He helped to secure 8 counts of serious abuse convictions against Barry Bennell. Currently a senior ambassador to the Offside Trust, advisor to the FA Survivor and Safeguarding Group, and he's now a detective constable, and he's been in service with Staffordshire Police for 20 years, and his current role is in child protection and exploitation team. Welcome to the show, Gary and Steve. The very first question that I always ask all of my guests, because we are called Unbroken, is what does that word unbroken mean to you? So maybe we could go to Gary first, if you like.
Yes, hi Madeleine. Great to finally sort of meet you, so to speak, in virtual world. Yes, unbroken. To me, that word alone means a spirit and a strength, and something that I always say is that we're still standing. I say it to Steve and anyone that'll listen, basically, that having gone through what we've gone through, we're still here, we're still standing, and we're unbroken. And that's what it means to me.
I love that word, the spirit of you. Every week I ask a guest, that question. Everyone comes up with a different answer, but I haven't heard anyone reply, it's my spirit. So that's a really lovely definition.
Thank you.
And Steve, what does the word unbroken mean to you?
Well, basically, showing a show of resilience, as far as I'm concerned, that despite going through all these bad times and bad experiences, that we can still function and still carry on in a positive manner. None of us asked for what happened to us, to happen to myself and you and Gary, but we're here now, and we're trying to try and make a positive difference in the world, and that's what we're trying to do.
You're not trying to do that. You are doing that. So there's no you can't try. You either do it or you don't. And believe me, I have followed you both on Twitter for a long time. You are making the difference. So would it be okay if we could go back and you could maybe just tell us briefly what happened to you? Because Barry Bennell, the man that abused you both, was a football coach, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. I was unfortunate. The fact that I come from Plymouth, which was a very long way away, spent my young years from the age of 12, 13, 14 upwards at this cottage in Buxton in Derbyshire, and that's where all the abuse happened, really. But
and what age were you when it started, Steve?
As far as I can remember, around 12, 13. Obviously, I don't know the exact time. I've only got certain recollections, but obviously, it's a very young age, and it should never have happened, and it's so upsetting knowing there were so many of us, and obviously, it's vitally important that people still come forward now, because we know there's other victims still out there.
Absolutely. And Gary, could you tell us when you first came across him and when it started with you?
Yeah, Madeleine. So I got scouted by a Manchester City scout, not Barry Bennell, to go to Manchester City. They were putting a team together of local lads, and within about 6 months, the team was handed over to Barry Bennell. And within a couple of weeks, we got the call of he wanted to sort of do the meet and greet, which meant you staying overnight. So 2 boys went every week. I went with another boy, and the abuse started on the very first occasion that we went to bed. Basically, there was no sort of messing about with him. It was straight in, and it's only now as an adult you can see that he was testing you out to see what he could get away with, and it went from there. But we'll probably get onto it later. But we just simply didn't have the words to say anything, and it was silenced.
Yeah. I was also very young. I was 13 when I was gang raped, and I didn't have the vocabulary to name it for what it was, you know, and it was easier for me, and I don't know if it's the same with you both, just to push it far, far from my head. I don't even know if it was a conscious decision, just something my body did. Just don't speak about it, push it out of your head.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, it didn't really know what was going on because it never had the sexual experience before. We didn't know, is it affection? Is this what you've got to do? No other boys were saying anything. None of the parents raised concerns. None of the officials at the club raised concerns. So that, you know, you're a little speck on the landscape. You're not going to put your head above the parapet to speak up about something you don't really know what's going on. Why should we feel how we feel? It's not our guilt and shame to feel anymore. And you sort of feel a bit angry and come on, let's do it. And we did. And the greatest thing that I feel is when lads come up to us or ring us and say, "Oh, thanks for speaking up. You know, I'm going to keep my anonymity, but you've empowered me to pick the phone up or share it and break that horrible stigma that follows you in your pit of your stomach." So that's what I'm most proud of. And then obviously I've done numerous things with Steve on Victoria, Derbyshire, other things, and Daniel Taylor's been a massive influence. And all the media and yourself are absolutely phenomenal, the support, and we get strength in numbers to try and smash this as best we can.
And it's the ripple effect, really, isn't it? So you, because you're speaking out and showing your face, you're helping other people. And when they finally find their voice and start healing, they will go on to help other people. So it's this massive ripple effect.
Yeah, and also letting them offenders sort of know that you're going to get your day. You know, non-recent abuse, yeah, you know, it could take us 20, 30 years, but we're coming for you. Just to sow that seed in their head that you can't get away with it forever.
And Steve, can you tell us about the Offside Trust? Because that really came about after you were on the Victoria Derbyshire show, didn't it?
Yes, basically we're an organization run by survivors for survivors. You know, we're proud to say that we've had over 150 survivors, you know, confide us for the very first time. And obviously that, you know, the first time you actually tell somebody is vitally important. And, you know, we send them to sporting chants, you know, any ex-footballers are sent there, offered the routes of counselling and all that sort of stuff. But the main thing that we are proud of really is the fact that I think there's been over a dozen football coaches now that have been successfully convicted. One took the easy way out and killed himself on his way to court. So that was, you know, that yeah, there were, I can't remember how many victims were involved in that trial, but we had to pick up, you know, pick up the debris from all that sort of stuff. But you know, the world's a safer place now because obviously with the Offside Trust, we raised the awareness 100-fold, and the fact that, you know, there are predators and manipulators in sport, especially football, and you know, we with the Offside Trust now we've raised the awareness and made football especially a safer place.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And Gary, can you tell us about the convictions of Barry Bennell? Because this isn't just the first time that he's been in prison, is it?
No, it's the last trial was in October, which was the 5th time he's been to court and been convicted and gone to jail.
Because he was convicted in America as well, wasn't he?
Yes, for the very, very first time. It was when he took a team to America, and it was American Mother, where he was staying with boys who put the flag up and raised concerns, and it went from there. Thankfully, he's not been in football since.
I try to take on the burden of, you know, listening and guiding survivors through all this sort of stuff, and you know, it's just too much. You need to pan it off to the experts, but you know, anybody out there is suffering in silence, especially they've got to speak out. You know, get this predator. You know, they might go on and you know, do this abuse other people. So you need to put a stop to it, you know, first and foremost. But you know, life goes on, and you know, we've got to turn a massive negative into a huge positive. So
Absolutely.
got to speak out.
And you, Gary, what advice would you give to anyone that's listening right now?
I would say, Madeleine, to anyone that's gone through similar, do not carry this hurt any longer. Take advice from trusted family, friends, professionals, and have no regrets. Do not have any regrets, because you don't want to be sitting when you're in your elderly time thinking, I wish I'd have said something, because the hurt is not yours to carry.
Absolutely. And I think that is such a powerful statement to end our interviews today. The hurt is not yours to carry. And I just really want to heartfelt thanks to you both, because you can see, even though you do share your story, it's not so easy. You know, there's a long way to go to healing, really, isn't there? But you're still putting yourselves out there. You've got this organization and you're making a difference to other survivors. So I'm really grateful that you took time out today, and thank you so much for coming on Unbroken, the podcast.